Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Wanbo X2 Max. It's right here. So you probably have been waiting for if you ever think about buying an X2 Max. So let's dive in. Right now, the device is connected to my Xbox Series X and I'm giving 4K signal right into it from one of its HDMI ports because it has two HDMI ports, which I love. So it's playing 4K footage. So the ambient light is open right now, or lights are on because some people really cares about my English too much. This is not my native language. So I want to be more careful for them. So basically, I'm going to give you my full conclusion in the beginning of the video by starting up with the specs and my test results because I've tested this device, latency, firmware update, and then second latency test, and audio quality test that I got. And I'm going to give you full conclusion in the beginning of the video. And in the rest of the section, you're going to witness the entire menu because I will show you the entire menu always as much as possible in my videos. I know my videos becoming longer because of them, but still I want you to see the picture quality in detail and give you the full idea of device, whether you should buy it or not. But before diving deep, subscription and the likes are quite important, and asking questions in the description. Wanbo has sent me this projector for review, but they don't have any control over what I say. And the second thing is I have a dedicated discount coupon code for their website. So if you ever want to decide to buy a Wanbo, you can use my coupon code. That'll help the channel to grow, but you're going to get a less price. So win-win. You got a better price, I got a support, and we're good to go. But again, it doesn't change what I think because I'm doing it as a hobby. This is not a business for me. I like projectors and home cinema equipment, and you know it by now. And if you just watching this video, you can go back and check my tutorials and guides. Those are free information to understand, to make a better decision about a projector. So let's start. X2 Max has 40-inch to 120-inch image size, okay? It's starting from 1.2 meters to 3.6 meters. And if I remember everything correctly, from 3.3 meters, it's going to give you around this size of image, similar 100-inch. Right now, I'm shooting automatic. The camera is tuned to HDR, so if you go back and forth, the video will be bouncing all over the place around as the light levels. I'm going to close the lights. So it's not going to be the perfect example of what you're going to see, but I shoot the videos like this because I want you to see the environment and you're going to be counting on my decisions and my test results. It's all in this small paper. I'm not using always technology. So it has the autofocus, auto keystone correction, and it's working pretty well. Much faster than I expected for the price range, and kind of like faster than the other models that I've tested so far, some of them at least. So we got 1 GB of memory and 8 GB of storage, which could be low for some people, and it's not the fastest model from the Wanbo, but it is not the expensive, one of the most expensive models. It's kind of like a budget, but delivering quite a bit of thing considering that budget. We got Android 9, but it was before the update, so I have updated. Entire menu has changed, and a lot of things changed with the latency and stuff. I'm going to show you the new menu, so if you don't see the same menu, you have to update your device probably, so check out that. And we got Bluetooth 5.0, and we got two 5 watts of speakers, which means you got 10 watts of speakers, just like Wanbo X5. So you got more speakers than Wanbo T4 Max, because if I remember correctly, it was 6 watts, and T2 Max new, it has, again, probably, if I remember correctly, 4 watts or something like that. So you can go back and check my side-by-side comparisons. I can't remember everything one-to-one, but basically it has good amount of power. The only thing that you're going to be lacking a little bit of bass compared to DaVinci 1 or Mozart 1. Of course, they are higher priced and their sound is of course better than the X5 too. But this is an X5 level of audio, a smaller case, dust proof, and we got pretty much everything for a casual projector. So we got white color and dark blue in this video. I got the dark blue color, and the size is compact. Like we got 22.5 centimeters to 9.4 centimeters height and 17.7 centimeter depth. So this device is tiny, and you can put it on any place. It might be ideal, one of the ideal projectors like the T2 Max New, like I mentioned early in the channel, like a bedroom projector, kids room projector. I'm not going to say this is not an ideal projector for a home cinema center position like living room. You can use it in the living room, but it needs to be dimly lit room or low level of lit room because it has the light power off. I'm going to talk about that. And on the declaration, their website, it has 450 ANSI lumen, and basically it is the T2 Max New or T4 territory. So it is not the most brightest model, but it is more than enough for a 100-inch size. And if you go 80, you can use it as a TV. So, but of course, not in a lit environment. If you want to lit the environment, you need a huge amount of power, and that's not the topic of this video. So you got to go back and check. Everything is positive until now. Is there any negative? So let me just share the test results, and I'm going to talk entirely about this device. So we got 44. You can also see the specs on the screen. Don't worry, you'll see the full menu, and I'm going to open up an Xbox game, play it for you in a bit. So in the beginning, I'm going to give you entire details. So sound test results. Everybody asks about sound levels of this device. It has 44 decibel if you put your ears right onto it, like stick your ears to it, which I think nobody will do. And if you stay 50 centimeters away, which means more logical if I stand here like this, normally you don't do that, but let's just count on it. You don't have a big space and you need to get close to the device because you don't have a space to watch it and create a big picture. You got a 32.5 decibels, and if you go 1 meter around roughly, you got 31 decibel of audio, which means you're not going to hear this projector. And since you have a 10 watts of speakers, if you push just a little bit of the audio button, like 1 or 2, maybe even 3, you're not going to be hearing anything at all. If you connect the gaming console will overcome the fan noise of this device. So it is nearly unhearable considering the distance that you have and the audio levels that you're going to be using. Okay, this is a silent device and it's kind of impressive. And since we are having dust-proof system, if you are having a potential problem around your house, or maybe you're using in an open environment like a cafe, then you might want to think about, instead of X5, maybe this. But if you need the brightness, let's just talk about the brightness. On their website, it is declared around 450 ANSI lumen, but many of the projectors are declaring higher. Wanbo has no difference on that. And everybody is in the same train. So you don't need to judge anybody. Like my $1,000 TW7000 was having 78% corrected test results compared to the declaration on their website. And many of the projectors do, even if they are $1,000, $2,000. So for this price range, everybody declares higher. I think if everybody goes in the real state, Wanbo probably won't be having any issue to do so. So I'm not just advocating Wanbo here, everybody does the same. So test results are important. My test results was, like, I measured it 3 or 4 times. It's about 258 to 260 range ANSI lumen power, which is quite a lot. It is a Wanbo T4 level of brightness. So it is more than enough for 100 inch in a dark room. You're going to enjoy it. And I've made this conclusion, like measurements, in the 50% brightness, as I always do. But if you push the brightness, change the settings, I go for the default standard. You can push it vivid, colorful, or powerful modes. So you can probably go over 260, 65, maybe 270. But I did my measurements on the standard, okay? So if you measure higher, let me know what you think at the comment section below. So the latency, some people probably will ask, what if I play games? Let's do that. Let's go to the menu of the Xbox Series X that I got here. And we have a couple of latency tests. Firmware update changed a lot. Before the update, I was having 180 milliseconds to 210, which is kind of like a lot. But after the firmware update, I got the latency of 65 to 80, 82. So that means you can play casual games like this. As you can see, I don't have any issues. So if you really love casual plays, casual games like shoot 'em ups, platform games, like warm style games, let's just go back and show you some alternatives. Go back. This is a Snake Pass game. I'm playing with my little daughter. So this is basically a casual game. You don't have to have an extreme action. You just snake around and, you know, swirl around things and get higher, catch stuff, rubies and stuff, collect. It's like a platform game. So it's not going to be needing an extreme low latency settings. But if you're going to play FPS competitively, this is not for you. You have to go for like maybe X5, Wanbo X5 with the firmware update. And many of the single LED projectors are not designed for this price level. Again, I'm always repeating the price level because it is important. If you go higher, you might have other things. I was falling, by the way, so on a HDMI cable. Because it is late at night, 12 and a half, late at night. So your support, thumbs and subscribes are important. Just say hi at the comments. I'm reviewing on my very little free time. Family comes business, family comes first, business, and then at the night time, very little personal time. In that time, I'm trying to create a very little time for reviews. So if I miss anything, you can remind me at the comment section if you test it for yourself, purchase the products. So I don't want to jump up anything. As you can see, this is a casual game where you travel with a snake. You go left and right. Basically, let's just go a little bit. So the overall picture quality is good. I am watching up close, not like you, of course. So you can go higher, something like this, and swirl around. I don't know if it's your type of thing, but a lot of kids love this sort of games because it's platform style. You have to solve problems. You have to go around pipes and bamboos and stuff. So I'm going to close it and I'm going to show you. Don't worry, the entire menu section will be coming just in a second. We need to play an action game. Since I don't have too much of a games, this is another game for my kid. Let's just try to connect. This is an Asphalt Legends. So it's a racing game. It will give you some idea about the latency and how it affects. So go to the career and play. Since this is tuned my daughter settings, it is in the simplest settings. So I might not be able to control the car. It goes by its own. You just click the buttons for NOS and stuff, or acrobacy, whatever. You just need to concentrate on left and the right. So let's just drift a bit. And if you concentrate on your car, there is no latency thing. But if you don't concentrate on the car but look around, then you feel a little bit of that latency. So console. Okay. I don't know about you, but my console is slowing down. That's weird. Xbox Series X slowed down on this game. That's interesting. It could happen, I guess. So, I don't want to keep this video too long, this section too long. You're seeing the screen as much as possible. So, what do we have? We have autofocus. We got two HDMI ports, which are kind of like extremely important. Autofocus, autocorrection works very good. Let me just show you that function because everybody is wondering the autofocus and autocorrection. I'm going to do it like this on the fly. Hold it here and come back here. It's shaky, it's wobbly because of the tripod, but it is getting the job done. So right now I got the focus. So how about the screen visual quality? When you take a look at the picture, right now I am throwing the visuals straight as possible, a little bit of correction happening. What I can tell you, around the corners I got a little bit of soft spot. Compared to the others, my copy could be this, having this thing. I will get close for you. Around the 15% region, a little bit of softness, left and right. On my maybe copy, is left is a little bit more. But basically, when you watch from a distance, because it's a 100-inch image, you wouldn't realize you can easily live up with the 4K footage if you give this thing a 4K footage, just like me. But if you use, instead of an external source like me, Xbox Series X, or a dongle, since you have 2 HDMI ports as a scenario, you are good to go to use the internal Android, which I will show you the entire menu with another section. So you got plenty of audio. So 10 watts is more than enough for daily use. If you're going to use this projector to shrink the image like 80 inches, you can use it as a TV without screen. You just have to darken the room lights. And I'm going to darken the room lights from Philips Hue just for you guys. So right now the lights are off. So you are left alone with the projector. So by the way, right now the camera is shooting HDR, high dynamic range, so it is adjusting depending on the lights. But if I do it on the fixed light setup, you won't be able to see me. So that's why I shoot the videos like this. You have to trust my conclusion and my measurements, but basically you're going to get a close-up shot of sharpness and equality. When I talk about the sharpness and equality, there is a little bit around the corners, like maybe 10%. On the left and the right, we got a little bit of vignetting, and for the price range, it is kind of like normal. It might be about my copy, your copy might be great, but basically this level of products definitely does a little bit of vignetting, but that's normal. But you have to know that. But like I told you, if you are considering too much of stuff, you might upgrade it to X5 or Mozart 1 or Dolly 1. And let's go back, hit the menu icon, and I'm going to get the camera closer to show you the entire menu, but this is the new updated version. So if you don't see the same menus, you have to update it before try to see what I show you here. So you got a Bluetooth projection setting, projection method, which is front, rear, top, down, vice versa, and reverse. Display scale is important for a lot of people. We got Bluetooth on the right, so we can connect anything, sound bars, little speakers, and earbuds or headphones, which I quite love and enjoy for personal cinema experience. Language, other settings, so we can reach out nearly everything here. And I got still Android 9 here, right after the update. I was wondering that. We got 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB of ROM. So basically, it's not the best hardware, but it's working pretty fast. So you're not going to be probably having any issues. And when it comes down to the projector display scale, I will show you the entire menu. And 4-point trapezoid is always there. So I'm going to show you the entire menu with everything just to change the camera angle. Before I do, I want to complete my conclusion. Who is the Wanbo X2 Max 4? I'm going to get close before I do that, but by the way, you're seeing at the background very sharp 4K image. So I'm going to open up the lights and get close to you. So before diving deep anything, who is the X2 Max 4? If you're planning a casual setup, if you're going to put this projector to a, let's just say, drawer or inside of a TV cabinet, it's small. It's small, it's portable. It has easy to use a thin power cable and power supply is inside, which makes this device quite portable and easy to use, user-friendly. And built-in Android 9 will give you all functionalities like Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Prime, whatever. But you're going to be having a lack of licensing. But that's not is something entirely new because we know the Wanbo has Pro models with Netflix, YouTube, and Google Play licenses, and the rest of the devices with a lower cost will get you the default Android theme and apps so you can cast, you can play, but you are not going to be able to use it entirely like the licensed models. Is it something bad? No. This device has two HDMI ports, which is probably one of the top things to my list. You can connect a console, you can connect a TV satellite receiver, so that makes this device highly usable with the multiple choices. So you can connect an Apple TV or 4K dongle if you want to give the best signal, or you can connect it to a console. In my ideal setup, I will recommend it like combined with the Xbox Series S, because Xbox Series S is a small device and you can put it on and you can use it from a bookshelf like a console and the X2 Max and above. I know it's a 60 milliseconds to 80 milliseconds device, so it's not perfect for gaming, but for casual games you can highly enjoy. You can play FIFA, okay? You can play fighting games, but some fighting games like maybe Mortal Kombat and fast-paced like Street Fighter might look a little late. And if you're competitive FPS, this is not for you. You should go check the X5 maybe with the BIOS update or firmware update. So it is in the middle point. Like if you decided to buy a projector from Wanbo, okay, let's just consider the other models. I'm not making a side-by-side comparison here, but I'm doing it on my mind. I'm trying to do it on my mind. By the way, I'm doing this in the real time, no pre-plan. So if you think about the T2 Max New, this has the similar settings, but better speakers. And I think overall this thin design kind of like could be advantage for your usage scenario. Maybe easy of placement, maybe hiding things to a drawer kind of like setup. And if you want to use this as a TV, you got a good option. 400 NC lumen on the declaration, 260 and little above on my measurements are quite good to use until 100 inch. If you are going to go above 100 inch, like 120, my 135, you should go for the brightest as possible. So the X5 is your option. And if you are going to go for a natural color, better HDR settings, you should be considering maybe DaVinci Pro or Mozart 1 Pro. If you are caring too much about the license, then you might want to upgrade the Pro versions of Wanbo's. But if you're going to use it all the time, just as a casual user, probably 80% of this price level users are, this is kind of like one of the good products that you can use. It might be one of the videos that I've done early in the channel, like ideal bedroom projector, ideal kid room projector. I'm not saying this is not ideal for living room, but basically it is not the brightest model from them, and it's not the loudest model like the Mozart one that I love with the bass. So it is kind of like a casual using scenario on a tight, low budget, and it really delivers quite a bit of thing compared to the budget. So I'm getting up. This conclusion is over. The bad thing about it, a little bit of vignetting around the corner, and a little bit of the latency issue maybe for the gaming. But other than that, I think you don't have too much of a complaint with the dustproof, good optics, and the low price. It is one casual good projector on a budget. So I gave you my full conclusion. Like I told you in the beginning of the video, you can check the discount code of my channel and you can support the channel while you purchase a Wanbo model. But I'm not saying you to do so. I'm just giving you the directions, which one you should be buying. You can ask at the comment section questions, what to expect. And if you haven't watched the other videos, like reviews and guides, go back and watch them to have a clear idea. And come back if you want to buy a projector. Use my code to support the channel, and you got a better price. A discount price is always well. Sometimes people ask, your discount code is not working. If there is an extremely discount time, my codes are not going to work. So if you go to a discount time like a 40% or 35% discount, and try to add my big discount coupon onto it, it probably won't work. Joe, so check out that. I just want to make that clear because a lot of people are asking. So after this section, you're going to see the entire menu. If you are happy with that, until now what you've seen, no problem. But if you wonder the entire menu, you're going to watch the entire menu. And after that, you're going to hear the audio as much as possible and a little bit of latency section, and the video is done. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye from Home Cinema and Tech Review. Until the next video, hoşça kalın. Don't skip any parts because YouTube shows me everything with analytics. In this section of the video, we're going to be taking a look at Wanbo X2 Max box content. First things first, on the box, we got a couple of logos, autofocus, two 5-watt speakers, dual band Wi-Fi 6, anti-dust design, which is good after X5 to see that, glass, full glass lens, and low noise. So on the side, we got a model name of WPA23. So probably that's the code, and the weight is 1.5 kilo. If you are going to rely on shipment or some sort of limitation in your country, consider this. It's a 1.5 kilo device. So let's open it. I am excited as you are. And after this scene, I will start, of course, always testing. So enjoy unlimited. We got user manual as always, kind of like a long user manual. I will put it right side, and we got one protective foam. We got the device itself. I think they have color options, but the one that came to me is kind of like a darker blue or black. Basically it looks black, but some angles it feels like darker blue, like, you know, dark blue jeans kind of. And what else do we have? We got a long power cable, which I love these cables. It's easy to use compared to adapters. It's easy to place your projector. So I will take the box aside. What kind of a remote that we get? Okay, exciting, right? So again, remote control is white. It's interesting to see white remote with a black device, but still I prefer the same color if possible, but probably Wanbo made this remote control regular. So 2 AAA batteries and you're good to go. Do we have any buttons on the device? Nope. That's kind of like a bad thing and also a good thing. It keeps things, you know, simple as possible. So we got a protective plastic cover. That's a nice touch. So on the front, we got a huge lens, like my 3 finger and some more space. So this is a big lens. We got a Wanbo logo and autofocus camera. And we got on the top power button. So everything is simple, but not having a control buttons, you have to rely on the remote control. Until now, I haven't had any problem with the Wanbo remotes. So on the side, we got speaker here. I don't know if you can see it or not for the close-up shots. Maybe I'll try another. I also see the cooling. At the back, what do we have? We have 2 HDMI. That's a good thing to see. We got USB port to power up if you want to connect a dongle or anything else. I will try everything, don't worry. So we got AV, and we got headphone jack and IR sensor, and we got power input, which I really like. I can buy 5 or 10 meter cables, much easier than adapter cables, designed by Wanbo. Around here again we got another speaker, so 2 5-watt speakers. We're going to test them out. And the bottom we got a 1/4-inch screw hole. That means we're going to be able to mount it on a tripod much more easily. And anti-dust filter here, but it's covered with one screw here, so we need to unscrew this, take the dust filter and clean it off. So it's really good to see a screw hole, a 1/4-inch connection, easy of use. I will start using this device from now on after this scene, and you're going to continue through the rest of the video. So it's looking pretty cool in my opinion, slick, slim, simple as possible. And you got a big user manual. This section is about to be over. You got every kind of like caution and what to do here. The most important part, let me just show you here, but you're going to see it in the video probably. 40-inch screen size from 1.3 meters, 60-inch from 2 meter, 80-inch from 2.67, 100, everybody wonders this, inch from 3.33, and 120 from 4 meters. So it has a good throw ratio, overall use. And this section is over. We're going to continue with rest of the video. If you're keen to buy this device or want to learn more, you are in the right spot. We are diving deep into the menu. Right now, still I am playing 4K from Xbox Series X, where I left off. And if I hit the settings button while you play from another source, this is not the internal Android yet, you got on the right network settings. This is the most useful settings that you might want to have from a projector, so that's why I'm starting with this. So we got a Wi-Fi. Right now it's not connected. I will connect it through the rest of the video, don't worry. And we got the MAC address, we got the projection set up, formal, front, rear, back. As you can see, formal back, hanging back. And what else do we have? Let's hit the back button. We got display scale, and as you know by now, having the digital zoom is great from 50 to 100%. If you somehow put it on a ceiling, you might want to scale down your image. So right now the auto keystone is open, you can close it, and horizontal correction is on. I'm not going to change that. Autofocus is open, you can also close that, but it really works fast and you've probably seen it so far. So the 4-point trapezoid correction after the auto keystone operation, so either you need to kill the auto correction and go for the manual. You got Bluetooth, and you can scan the Bluetooth devices to connect the audio. And we got language. Since we have Android, we got huge amount of language, probably nearly every possible language. So I'm going to hit back. Other settings, what do we have? Like we have pictures, sound, keyboard, starting source, which is important if you play a console too much, and if you stay with your console, gaming console started on with the device, then you're good to go. You don't want to get into the built-in Android of the Wanbo, or if you add a dongle and want to start with a dongle, then you're good to go here. So other than that, we got keyboard options, so you can change the keyboard. Since it's Android, you can change anything pretty much. Application management, so if I hit it, that's a nice touch. While playing a video, I can see through the apps that I have. So let's just check to that. App Store, we don't have we have a Google Play Store. That's a nice touch. App Store, Chrome, eShare, File Manager, iMirror, Office Suite, Netflix, MX Player, which is a nice touch if you ask me. MX Player can play pretty much anything. I really love it, and I have the Pro version on my phone, so I can install it to a lot of devices. So Keyboard Pro, Prime Video, Smart TV Wanbo, and speaker mode, and YouTube. So that's about it. So I'm going to hit the back. Screensaver, it's a nice touch, and date and a time, and through the rest, we got an about, we got resolution of Full HD, and that's it. So after that, I think I need to go around a little bit then by hitting this thing of projection. Let's find the source. I need to do that. Other settings, picture. Okay. So I hit the smart button to get back into the menu. I don't have a source button. That's kind of like a little interesting. To go back to the Android or change the source, you have to come here. It might be an upgrade later on about it. So the menu perfectly works great, and I think it's very fluent. Let me just show you. You can add any app. I can go back and forth, and as you can see, it moves. After the internet connection, everything just creates previews. Everything works extremely fast. I don't feel like this is a 1 GB of RAM. I feel more like it. So you got App Store without license. You can probably install anything. And File Manager, Speaker Mode, Chrome built-in. That's a nice touch. Miracast when you need a cast. Prime Video, eShare server, Office Suite if you're going to project like works and presentations, Netflix, YouTube. Like I told you, Netflix and Amazon Prime doesn't have the licensing. This is a default Android theme. Google Play, having a Google Play is a good thing. MX Player and iMirror. So you got a lot of options. And I'm not going to show you every bit of things here. So in the second mode, you got populars, built-in, install, Disney Plus, Plex, and the rest of the things that you see here, YouTube Music and such. So when you go to the settings, before do that, I go here. This is the source. Before the update, we didn't have the source here. We had the source. To go to the source, we got to go to the settings, and inside the settings, we got a projector settings and etc. etc. So you got to go 3 menus inside like a sub layer to choose the source. So you got a HDMI 1, HDMI 2, AV, and USB. That's a nice touch to have it easy on your fingertips. So if I hit the settings, okay, if I hit the other settings, here I got the picture settings. Let's start with the picture settings. Image mode is right now standard. And if I hit it, standard, vivid mode will apply. So you see the clarity is 75, contrast is 75. And when I hit OK, I need to hit OK before changing. So I got soft here and computer mode here. And I got the user mode here. I like to clarify like 75 to 80% because of these device overall sharpness levels, and a little bit of punch out like 55. And for the saturation, I love a little bit of saturation like 65 with these devices, but it really depends on what I watch. So when we go back, okay, when we go back to the first point, since I'm shooting auto, you're not going to be able to see the every detail possible, but I'm going to get close to show you the sharpness because of this is not a side-by-side comparison. Trust me on the picture quality. And again, picture. This was the picture settings. And the sound settings, sound mode, movie, news, music, movie, and movement. Touch tone and balancer details. Whoa, you can tune the hair levels. I don't do that. And starting source, I probably show you that. And rest is done. So the entire menu is basically done here. So I'm going to do something out of a source, go back to the HDMI 1. So I'm going to play 4K footage again from YouTube while I change the settings, because I want you to see the picture quality difference if there is a proper difference. But again, I remind you, other settings, picture, and go to the Vivid. Get ready. Punches. It really punches like 15 to 20%. And when it punches, let me just go close to the screen. When it punches, you can definitely see the sharpness add on. Like I go back from standard to Vivid, it really punches. Some of the highlights and HDR tones a little lost the detail, but that's a nice touch. When you go soft, I wish that this menu got a little bit of smaller and see the rest of the picture, but having it transparent, it really helps. So it's easy to tune up. And when I hit the computer mode, brightness enhanced, but I lost a little bit of detail. So I will go to the standard as we know it. So I got really a little bit of more detail here. So do you really need to know what you're doing? Well, you don't need to know everything. Like I told you, so I'm going to clarify here. Okay, 75, 76, 55, and saturation of 60. So this is, let me just check, this is the setup that I got. I think it's quite good picture. So we're going to get close. But before that, I want to mention, let's just try to concentrate on the menu. Let's just stop the video here. Sorry. I will do it again. So let's just see the resolution first. I don't want to do anything wrong. So this little bit of sharpen effect will show a little bit of glowing around the edges. I will hit the continue in this section and get close with the camera. Okay, I'm getting close for you. So we got a little bit of glow effect, but the camera is over adjusting, but this is the picture quality that we are getting. So I think it's enough for a 100-inch size image, and you can clearly enjoy. Of course, it shows a little bit of glow around the edges of small bushes and stuff. Instead of big objects, you can't understand the potential overglowing around the edges. Have you seen this? This glowing? So some of this glowing is not just about, of course, this video section has that, but as you can see, you got a good dynamic range, good white details, and everything really looks good. But around the edges of small things, you're going to get a digital sharpening effect. But for the price range, it is kind of like similar to X5. So I'm not saying this is the same level of X5, a little less sharpened in my opinion, but still gets the job done. So I'm going to go back, okay, since you had an idea about the sharpness. I'm going to go and I'm going to show you the manual focus, but because I'm going to get close, I want to be perfectly flat focus. I see pixels of Wanbo right now, and I'm going to get close. So this is the left side, and as you can see, little bit of softness, okay, around the logos, as you can see. So around the text, when I go here, I can clearly say Xbox text is little soft around this area, not completely on the support side, but this is kind of like getting softer. So you don't see that, but it's there. And also the Skyforce, as you can see, a little feels soft. So if I compare the softness, it might be about my copy, but on here, we don't have a softness thing. But around here, around the edge of the Netflix, I pushed a little bit of sharpness. As you can see, there is a glow effect around the edges. And Atomic Heart has kind of like the little bit of softness and glows. So icons are not going to be perfect. This is a full HD projector on a 100-inch size. I'm not comparing to the 4K projectors that I got, but basically it is little bit of softer around the sharpness. It might be about my copy, but again, you have to keep that in mind. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. You can't see it from a distance where you sit, because for 100-inch, you have to sit around 3.5 to 4 meters, and you're not going to see that much of a thing. Little bit of ghosting and softening effect around the edges. That is also one of my LG HS8065 Full HD, much more expensive projector, was doing similar stuff. So nothing wrong with that. So I think this picture quality and overall capability full menu section is over for the X2 Max. In this section, I just want to show you what if you play an FPS game. This is a Far Cry 6. I see stuff much more brighter, but since the camera sometimes cannot handle these highlights, I fixed the brightness to the brightest settings section of the game. So I'm going to continue this game for you to see how it feels like, and I'm going to go back and check a little bit. It looks really bright and good. So can we use it? Let's go a little bit. By the way, the tinting of blue It's kind of because of the situation that I got for the camera settings, camera color settings. But basically, I really see not this level of blue, a little bit of grayish and natural colors. So it's about the camera settings, but focus on the picture quality. So I'm going to open Fire for some people if there is an option like that. Let's run a bit. I think I've cleared this area, but let's just play it with Fire. I think it really looks good. Silencer is open, so I couldn't kill the lights. I'm looking extremely different HDR tones to show you the difference, but the nature, the gun, I think you can really play. Like if I move it around, I can feel the latency a little bit, but if you play casual, like let's just reload it and enter as a driver. So let's get into the car, show you. Well, you can really play that. I always tell, like for casual gameplay, 50 milliseconds could be enough, but you can really get away with 62 here. 62, 65. Let's kill this man. Oh my. Whoa. So I'm going to go back because I don't want this save to ruin my experience. So I hope you had at least an idea of casual FPS games. If you are going to play a single player, you won't be having a trouble too much. Welcome to the audio test section, and this is going to be an explanation. Right now the camera is 75 centimeters away from the X2 Max. The basic reason is, in my opinion, this is going to be the general distance for this sort of level of product. So you put it on a place and you get back on a couch, you probably will be close, or this thing will be top of your head like a bookshelf. Then you got yourself an eye level screen. As you can see, this is kind of like a little lower. So ideally, it will be more close to you. But I am doing a generic audio recording with an omnidirectional microphone inside of a 25 to 30 square meter studio room. The walls are flat. That's why a little bit of reverb is happening. I haven't applied after the paint the foams, but still, you're going to get a clear idea on the audio recordings and the capabilities. So enjoy as much as you can. If you watched this video until now, here is your audio test begin.
I think this section gave you enough information. So overall, you could expect sound level just like Wanbo X5. But if you're expecting the umph or the punchy bass, you should go for Mozart 1 or DaVinci 1, DaVinci 1 Pro. So it's up to you on the noise level, but it's definitely more than enough on a small room, in a small room with a casual setup. But if you decided to add on, you can add any Bluetooth thing to this device. So the audio section hopefully will be enough for you. But don't forget, if you haven't used your headphones or your earbuds, try to use them and try to get the feeling of what you're going to get in real life. That section is over.